You guys are not going to believe what I have to share with you in today's broadcast. If this video gets enough attention, I think we really have a good shot at the 2024 election with Donald J. Trump. Look, people are already mad at Kamala Harris because she can't answer one specific question, why that is that she has not fixed problems with the economy now, if she claims she can suddenly do that after the election. And number two, very recently, I think this is really going to be painful to her administration, and the fact that she is really botching this entire relief effort on the hurricane victims. And my heart and prayer goes out to all those victims. I am pissed off at the way that this has been handled, and unfortunately, there are more Trump supporters in that area. So I think she's really dragging her feet. In fact, I put out a huge report that you're going to want to check out on Restricted Republic. You're going to want to get there, and I'll share more about that later. Not only that, but two bombshells have just been released by an FBI whistleblower and an MSNBC news reporter that are really going to put a damper in things for Mrs. Kamala Harris. And you guys are going to want to hear it all. But I want to start first with an update on this strike. I know many people went to the grocery store just the other day and toilet paper was out yet again because a lot of people were concerned that that would be one of the items. Thankfully, it wasn't. But anyway, I think that has calmed down now. There has been a resolution on the strike. Here's New York Post. U.S. port workers and operators reach deal to end coast strike immediately, union says. The 3-day longshoreman strike that sparked panic in the United States over potential supply chain issues is set to end immediately as dock workers and port operations reached a tentative deal, representatives for each group said on Thursday. The strike, which snarled incoming shipments as dozens of ports stretching from Maine to Texas, will end at least until January 15th after the International Longshoremen's Association, the union representing 45,000 dock workers, and the U.S. Maritime Allowance, which represents shippers and ports operators, reached a tentative deal on wage increases. Now, the deal that they actually reached is this, and that is dock workers will see an approximately 62% wage hike over 6 years under the new deal, a source familiar with the bargaining process told Reuters. The union has been asking for about 77% raise. So there's kind of a quick update on what's going on thus far. It's at least settled till January 15th for the Longshoremen's Association. So I guess that's good news that there's not going to be massive delays on our shipping items. So kind of, I guess, at least we reached a resolution on that. Now, before I dive into the FBI whistleblower's bombshell statement, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor. Well, folks, the FBI calls it house stealing. And this is something I have been warning about here on my channel for well over a year because it's such a huge problem. Scammers can transfer your home title, take out a loan in your name, and leave you with nothing but an emotional and financial disaster. If you own a home or real estate, then it is absolutely critical that you protect your property and equity from these types of criminals. And in fact, I know of no better way to do that than by checking out HomeTitleLock.com. If you haven't checked it out before, now is the time. And the good news is they are giving away to my listeners 30 days free of Home Title Lock's triple protection, which includes 24/7 monitoring of your title and also urgent alerts if anything changes. And most importantly, restoration of your title if there is any fraud whatsoever. And all you have to do is enter the promo code Lisa right there in the coupon section you can see on the screen. But protect your home equity and even your peace of mind right now with HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com. If you want more information, click that more button if you're on your cell phone, or click the link in the description box below. All right, back to the broadcast. So let's dive in to this FBI whistleblower's bombshell. And for that, I'm going to go on over to Lou Dobbs here. And it's FBI whistleblower alleges plan to deploy plainclothes FBI agents to Maricopa County polling stations to monitor Trump voters. And the FBI has, of course, responded. But here's the deal. A bombshell report from a whistleblower has set off alarms among Arizona's voters and political leaders as new revelations have surfaced about an alleged plan by the FBI to deploy plainclothes agents to polling stations in Maricopa County. According to a whistleblower who attended a recent security briefing, the FBI's primary objective with this operation is to monitor Trump voters during the upcoming election, a disturbing indication of federal interference aimed at intimidating those who dare support the 45th president. Representative Alexander Kolodin was quick to act, sending a forceful letter to FBI Director Christopher Wray, warning that such actions would not be tolerated. Now, here's our representative here in Arizona, and this is what he had to say on his X page here. He said, "Today, I informed FBI Director Christopher Wray that the House is prepared to act if his agents attempt to intimidate or censor voters while deployed to Arizona." Now, here's the actual letter that he sent out. It's a very powerful letter, by the way, and it says, "Dear Director Wray, my office has recently received a report that the FBI will be stationing plainclothes agents in polling stations throughout Maricopa County. According to the whistleblower who attended the security briefing, the purpose of this deployment is to make sure Trump voters don't get out of line. I sincerely hope that this disturbing allegation is false. Rest assured, however, that if your agents are here for any other purpose than ensuring that every lawful voter is able to cast a ballot, the House is prepared to take immediate action to secure all Arizonans the equal protections of the law." Amen. Given your agency's patterns and practices of election interference and censorship of speech unfavorable to the Biden administration and its allies, I wish to make you aware of recent federal court litigation that is relevant to your activities here. In Encore versus Fontes, the District of Arizona enjoined the enforcement of a regulation that purported to allow voters to be removed from the polls if they were criticizing election workers or administration, even in an insulting or offensive manner, while raising one's voice. And it goes on to reference the docket there. The court noted that enforcement of this rule would have impermissible chilling effect on Arizona voters' First Amendment protected speech. And I absolutely agree with that. It goes on, as you know, your agents are prohibited. They are from going in disguise on the premises of another for the purpose of preventing or hindering the constituted authorities of any state or territory from giving or securing to all persons within such state or territory the equal protection of the law. They are likewise prohibited from conspiring to prevent by force or intimidation or threat any citizen who is lawfully entitled to vote from giving his support or advocacy in a legal manner toward or in favor of the election of any lawfully qualified person as an elector for president or VP. Further, presidential elections are administered pursuant of the state, not federal law. You should therefore be aware that under Arizona law, voter intimidation by your agents while guests in our state may complicate certification of the results in the election. And it goes on to say, if anybody in Arizona feels that their rights have been violated, here's the link that you use to report that. Thank you, Alexander, our representative here in Arizona. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I take a lot of I take to heart when these whistleblowers come out, and this is an FBI whistleblower coming out. And of course, like everything else, the FBI is denying all of it. And they've denied a lot of things that turned out to be true, by the way. So just kind of a note there. But here it is, Daily News Cycle. FBI denies allegations of plainclothes agents targeting Trump voters. So they're right now claiming none of that is true. It's an FBI whistleblower. That's not going to happen. But based off of how they treated January 6ers and the whole 9 yards, I don't really have much faith that the FBI is actually telling us the truth here. But hey, they're denying it. As far as we know, we've got a whistleblower saying otherwise. But either way, thank you, our representative Alexander here, for standing in the gap and saying, hey, just a reminder, what you're doing is not legal. It's intimidating, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So thank you for standing up for that. So this is huge and really kind of just proves more how our FBI has been weaponized. Now, speaking of that, the mainstream media is also in bed with Miss Kamala Harris, and this came out via James O'Keefe OMG Media Group here, and here it is, breaking. MSNBC producer admits that MSNBC is doing all that they can do to help the Harris campaign. During an undercover date with an OMG journalist, Basil Hamdan, a writer and producer for MSNBC's show, Amen, he was asked what the network has done to assist the Harris campaign. And he revealed on hidden camera that what Harris's message of the day is their message of the day, as MSNBC actively pushes Harris's narrative to help her win. He admitted that MSNBC is doing all that they can do to help. Harris got elected with the network operating as an extension of the campaign, and he went on to say MSNBC is indistinguishable from the party, further highlighting their partisan agenda. In other words, they work together. And Democrats finish each other's sentences. But take a listen to this clip.
So do you feel like MSNBC is doing enough to help the Harris campaign?
I mean, they're doing all they can.
What have they done to help the Harris campaign?
Amplify her message. What her message of the day is their message of the day.
Busted. So busted. You know, Kamala Harris and her administration is looking worse and worse every day. In fact, more information is coming out that they're still using, well, not her group, but unaffiliated with Kamala Harris groups, non-government agencies that are pro-Kamala Harris are paying, reportedly paying YouTubers and social media influencers to, well, say bad stuff about Donald J. Trump. Then there's all of that. But speaking of the election, we know it's very sad. My heart goes out to all the people that have been impacted by Hurricane Helene. And the truth of the matter is this could have some impacts on our election. And this is on the Washington Post right here. If Helene affects voting, Trump may pay the price. The Washington Post noted on Tuesday the inconvenience wrought by Helene included one that's unimportant on a human scale, but vitally important on a political one, a disruption of the effort to prepare for and conduct the 2024 presidential election, particularly in North Carolina, where poll averages show a very close race. The upending of daily life means potentially upending the results of next month's election. And of course, it would be to Donald Trump's detriment. Why? Because large portions of them are voting Republican, as you can see in this particular map. That was on the Washington Times. Well, golly, I don't know how a lot of these people that have just been involved in a disaster, how they're even going to be able to vote. But let's just pray that, I don't know, that a miracle happens, I guess, and just continue to pray for those people. But that said, I've got to tell you guys, I just put out a huge report on Restricted Republic, and I want you to check it out. And it's this, I just posted it there, but it is all about what is happening in North Carolina with the hurricane and Hurricane Helene. And it's all the information that the mainstream media wants to hide from you. I am dropping it in this video. Go to restrictedrepublic.com. Sign up right now to watch it. In fact, as an exclusive offer right now, I'm going to give it to you for the first 3 years for $2.99 per month. Use the code TRUMP47. But you're going to want to get there. Click start your free trial. Make sure you use that coupon code TRUMP47 to watch it. And go and watch my video. It's got exclusive accounts and all the stuff that they're not telling you about what's really going down. And there's a lot of stuff similar to what went on in Maui. You guys are really going to want to subscribe to that. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.